It is a pleasure for us to present our thesis to you. Chapter 1, Problem Statement. Area of our sector, education, general topic, pandemic with COVID-19, specific topic, investigation and review the biosecurity measure and their post-pandemic effect on the education, rector in the staff and students of the Isabel Allende School to the Instagram platform kilometer 11 in front of Unicentro Altavista y Lopango, San Salvador, El Salvador, between February and October 2021. Location and year to register Colegio Isabel Allende y Lopango, San Salvador, El Salvador, in the present year 2021. Description of the problematic situation at the time of recomposition to class in the semi-phase to phase while at the school there could be outbreak of contamination on the COVID-19 virus and its variants as consequence of the services that students at school my parents might be when moving from a place to another to school because of the virus and eating setback that might arise between students when regular state classes such as internet connection factory. Acquisition of adequate budget according to finance capacity, lack of adequate technology debit, shortage of electric service, lack of knowledge of the use of technology service, and deficits main characters of the problem situation. Biosecurity meters and young of clear situations compatible with COVID-19. Take measures where entering factors the concentration of work of teacher, administrative staff, assistant, student in always Prevention will help reduce the massive contamination because occur infect permanence, social distance, maintaining hygiene, washing, seasoning, etc. Information shared and published of Instagram platform will expose the protocol to biosafety measure importance on knowledge. The symptoms COVID-19 occurred on the 6th March 11, 2020. The day of which official declared and spread of the COVID virus pandemic delivered before in our time, knowledge student there is a consequence that it offer the most health second the economic, the education, the of education, possible responsible to phenomenon. Due to lack of seriousness on the part of the student and staff of the school, they can infect many people among their loved hosts. Rachel questioned how they measure the scope of the effects of post-pandemic biosecurity measure of the student and staff of Colegio Isabel Allende. Justification: the biosecurity measure that Isabel Allende School will implementing hard of great importance to ensure the health of the students and the people who will incorporate into the educational center. The limitation on the problem, expansion of the limitation. Isabel Allende School has west Highway, kilometer 11, Ilopango, El Salvador. Temporary delimitation. The rest will carry of the Isabel Allende School from February to October 2021. Social delimitation. The investigation with delimitation on the one or student scope and limitation scope. Share content to the Instagram platform publishing the biosecurity measure.
Chapter 2, Theoretical Framework. This is history and here's what we know about the virus that was first detected in Wuhan, China in late 2019 and has set off a global pandemic. Where did the coronavirus come from? SARS-CoV-2 made the jump to humans at one of Wuhan's open-air wet markets. There were customers buy fresh meat and fish, including animals that are killed on the spot. Some wet markets sell wild or banned species like cobras, wild boars, and raccoon dogs. Chronic conditions can let the viruses from different animals swap genes. Sometimes the virus changes so much and it starts to infect and spread among people. Still, the Wuhan market didn't sell bats at the time of the outbreak. That's why early suspicion also fall in pangolins, also called scaly anteaters, which are sold illegally in some markets in China. Some coronaviruses that infect pangolins are similar to SARS-CoV-2. As SARS-CoV-2 spread both inside and outside China, it infected people who have no direct contact with animals. That meant the virus is transmitted from one human to another. The COVID-19 or coronavirus pandemic poses a threat of advancement of education worldwide because it has two significant impacts. One is the near universal closure of schools at all levels, and two is the economic downturn generated by pandemic control measures. Characteristics: lack of information among students about seriousness of the virus, and also little interest in the correct application of biosecurity measures. Great curiosity, which can be exploited in the right way if the attention is attracted in a positive way. The advantages are: the biosecurity measure of the school are of great importance because they help to prevent the virus. These measures are one that best helps to preserve health, that is to say, not to become infected with the virus. Fast action. The biosecurity measures to be implemented are very easy and very fast. And the disadvantages are: the use of face masks represents a great danger for the environment, since the use of these masks would also increase the contamination. It is also known that distancing is one of the methods per excellence, almost infallible, to protect us from COVID-19, but it implies not only protecting ourselves, but also distancing themselves from those who they love. In this way, it is shown the love to them, but also distancing from them affects psychologically. Subject. And the subject of study are the students and all the staff working at Isabel Allende School, including students, teachers, and staff working within the institution. Why have been chosen this subject for this research? It was decided to take all the members of the educational community of Isabel Allende School because as researchers belonging to the student sector, the information collected can be better analyzed since it has a greater access to them. Adding also the content that is uploaded on the page can be a little more technical because it is aimed at young people with a more developed knowledge. The importance. The importance of COVID-19 prevention is that this infection is a new coronavirus that hasn't been previously identified in humans, which causes an acute respiratory infection, which can progress to a severe clinical picture, actually. It's transmitted from an infected person to others, through the air, by coughing and sneezing, by touching or shaking hands with a sick person, or touching an object or surface contaminated with the virus and then touching the mouth, nose, or eyes before washing hands. The importance of having protocols in place is that they give us the possibility to prepare a plan for the prevention and contagion, and to be prepared in case it occurs. The correct application of protocols such as coughing and sneezing, or the correct hand washing, mask and mask use help us to directly reduce the spread of the virus.
The coronavirus and its apparent are a group of viruses that cause disease ranging from the common cold to chronic sequelae and even death. To carry out this project, information will be published on the Instagram page, where the biosecurity measure that Isabel Allende School has will be given, sharing the same of the aforementioned platform in the most creative and striking way possible. On the other hand, we will be taking into account the English language to disseminate our project using both languages as a tool while sharing content on our page. Vision. Promote the security measure used in the Isabel Allende School throughout Spanish and English language in a virtual platform in order to persuade students and to help the administrative staff to implement the measure in their daily lives. Mission. Publish and promote the use of the biosecurity measure of the Isabel Allende School, using as the main tool the virtual platform, in this case, Instagram. Putting into the use English and Spanish language to motivate students in the implementation of the measure inside and outside the institution. Service. Promote the security measure at the Isabel Allende School through the English language. Create effective and engaging content to capture the attention of our audience. Raise awareness among students of the importance of implementing security measures in public space. Distribution. We as group have the purpose of promoting biosecurity measures.
Generalities. Areas. Education. The coronavirus disease pandemic COVID-19 has caused an unprecedented crisis communication. Billions of people have turned more than ever to connected mobile or fixed devices of communicate with family and friends, to learn about illness or illness event of telecommunicated and improve this with hope, research and support health. The COVID-19 pandemic has placed a key strain on public health systems around the world, exposing costs in healthcare for underserved or vulnerable populations. Atmosphere. Our project will be carried out the Isabel Allende School, located in Autopista de Oro, kilómetro 11, Ilopango, El Salvador. Variables. Independiente variable. Create content on the Instagram platform to promote the use of biosecurity measures at the Colegio Isabel Allende to checking their feasibility. Dependiente variable. To generate an awareness of the importance of biosecurity measures and the study of Colegio Isabel Allende inside the outside the institution shows. On the one hand, our sample will come from outpatient, the other will be the student and staff who improve physical or school tour service. Technical and methods or my technical collecting the necessary information will be served and improved, whether physical or digital, depending on the medium which carry. On the other hand, that we carry person with their style, we tour or pay Instagram. Share of publication we will be using question and another high college information for subjects to be investigated.
Chapter 3. Hypothesis System. General hypothesis. Better within the biosecurity main course of the Isabel Allende School through Instagram, it is hoped to prevent contagions, use, and also the institution's specific hypothesis. Better collecting content and transmit it through Instagram. We will force the morning of biosecurity measures, scripting hypotheses, the implementation of biosecurity measures at the Isabel Allende School will reduce the number of infections among students and teachers. Null hypothesis exclaim. Content and transmit things via Instagram does not outweigh the prevention scope of biosecurity measures, which is the instruction, operationalization of various indicators. However, the general and specific hypothesis maintained above is as either indicator and variable of its common root, independent variable. Creating platform tool to more the use biosecurity measures in the Isabel Allende School. It is why checks the principle of them. Dependent variable. General and answers of the importance of biosecurity measures in the student of the Isabel Allende School.
being of the institutions. There are matrices that are vacancies very important and useful for them general and specific topics, sounds variable and more others.
Universe and sample of the research. Universe. The universe of this investigation is the educational community of the Colegio Isabel Allende, understood as students, teachers, and staff working at the school. Describes CHAM, biosafety measures, exploratory studies. Explain. Educational institutions are affected by COVID-19 as a pandemic. Explain if biosafety measures are lacking, the reopening of educational institutions will be affected. There are more. This happens for people who don't apply biosecurity measures. Respond. The consequences of biosecurity measures are very good as they will help reduce the contagions. Provide. Biosecurity measures are a way to save our lives. It implies the exploratory studies are on top to obtain information on biosafety measures, and the descriptive or seek the specific, the most important of the biosafety measures. Exploratory studies recognize, define, and locate. Problems: lack of biosecurity measures, contact with infected people. Basis: hypothesis by revealing biosecurity measures of the Colegio Isabel Allende trough, Instagram helping to prevent contagion inside and outside the institution, collect ideas and suggestions. Refine the methodology. Strategies: to reach all students in a truthful way, regardless of the degree to our hybrid modality in the publication service as a tenet of the studies, descriptive and explanatory. Explanatory CHAM. Biosafety measures. Explanatory studies. Explain. Educational institutions are affected by COVID-19 as a pandemic. Explain. If biosafety measures are lacking, the opening of the educational institution will be affected. There are more. This happens for people who don't apply biosecurity measures. Respond. The consequences of biosecurity measures are very good as they will help reduce the contagions. Provide. Biosecurity measures are a way to save our lives. It supplies the exploratory studies are intended to obtain information of biosafety measures, and the descriptive or seek to specific the most important of the biosafety measures. Explanatory stories. Recognize, define, and aid. Problems: lack of biosecurity measures, contact with infected people. It bases. Hypothesis: by revealing the security measures of Colegio Isabel Allende trough Instagram, it is expected to prevent contagion inside and outside the institution. Collect ideas and suggestions. Use social platform as a means of dissemination. Fine-tune the methodology. Investigate and reveal the biosecurity measures of Colegio Isabel Allende. They serve to formulate the research outline, develop the strategies, reach out to all students in truthful way regardless of the degree to or even modality in the publication. It serves as background of the studies, describe, explanatory. Then we have our observation guide. Our objective is to obtain information on the use of shared biosecurity measures on the social networks Instagram in English and Spanish. Also, we have our survey questionnaire. Our objective to collect information about biosafety measures and their post-pandemic effects on the staff and students of Colegio Isabel Allende on educational return. And finally, we have interview guide. We have our objective collect the necessary opinions of students and staff of the Colegio Isabel Allende about biosafety measures.